Hello students, I am Dr. Shrikant Bause, Assistant Professor at Department of Advanced Management Studies, GS College of Commerce, Varda. In the last few videos, we have seen the valuation of bond. Now, from today onwards, we are going to start with the valuation of equity. As the name suggests, equity, that they are having the instruments of equal price all over the world. Now, when we are going to value the equity of any company, at that time it is very much complex as compared to the bond valuation, because in the bond valuation you will be finding that the cash flows and the yield and the interest rates, maturity, all this can be ascertained very easily. But in the equity valuation, you cannot ascertain all these things very easily. So it is very much complex as compared to the fixed income valuation. And there are two types of valuation of equity. The first type is the fundamental analysis and the second type is the technical analysis. In the fundamental analysis, we will examine the assets. These assets may be tangible assets or intangible assets. We will ascertain the value of these assets and we will come to know that what will be the fair price of the share or stock. Then its earning prospects. For example, now take a recent example of Reliance Jio. Before couple of years, when Reliance launched its Jio services, telecom services, each and every analyst started estimating the future cash flows from the Jio, the future cash flows from the Reliance retail. So it reflected into the prices of Reliance from last 2 years. The Reliance share prices went up drastically, exponentially. Now, so these are called as the earning prospects and the cash flow projections. Next one is the dividend potential. The dividend completely depends on the growth of a company, how much profit that company is making. So if a company is making great profits, it will give you dividend. If it is not making great profits, it won't be possible for a company to give you dividend. So these are the things which we will have to consider while valuing the equity, that is examining assets, earnings prospects, cash flow projections and dividend potential. In the same way, the another type by which you can value the equity, that is technical analysis. In the technical analysis, each and everything will revolve around the price action. In the technical analysis, the historical prices of stock or share will be plotted on the graph of different types of graph, and that graphs will be of different time frames. For instance, the graph may be of say 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, likewise. So on the basis of these charts and the prices, when coupled with the volume analysis, the technical analyst will ascertain whether the prices of these shares are going to go up or the down. Now in the equity valuation, we are going to study the balance sheet techniques through which the valuation of equity is traditionally done by the analyst. Most of these analysts are the fundamental analysts. So basically there are three types of balance sheet techniques. First one is the book value method. Second one is the liquidation value method, and third one is the replacement cost method. So in the first book value method, we will see what is book value. Book value is generally calculated with the help of the net worth of an organization. Now, the net worth of organization will be calculated by the book value method. So, the formula for the book value is paid up equity capital plus reserves and surplus divided by number of outstanding shares. So, for simplifying it, we will take a small example. Suppose the net worth of XYZ Limited is 1000 crores and the number of outstanding shares are 10 crores. So, by putting these things, dividing 1000 crores net worth by the number of outstanding shares, that is 10 crores, there will be a book value of 100 rupees per share. Remember one thing, that this book value is always historic in nature, because the company will start adding its all the assets from time to time, from historic time, from its commencement of business. So it reflects the how strong your company is. The high book value of any share reflects that the company is having strong assets with it, but it do not represent the current value of a company. For example, all the prices of its tangible assets will be historic in nature, unless and until we are going to sell them in the market. There will not be ascertainment of current economic value. So, the another thing is there is no future earnings, because book value will be completely depending on the net worth of the company, and what is going to get happen in the future no one knows. Whether the company will flourish or whether the company will go bankrupt, no one can predict, but the book value will remain almost same in all these things. So, book value method is one of the oldest and traditional method of ascertaining the value of an equity. High book value, very strong scrip or stock, and low book value will not be having a stability in the stock prices, in the equity prices. So, the next method of balance sheet technique is the liquidation value method. So, whenever any company want to liquidate, want to sell its all the assets, this liquidation value method is used by the analyst. But remember, the company will liquidate itself only when it will go bankrupt. But here the analyst also consider this method after the book value method. The formula for liquidation value will be value realized from liquidating all the assets of the firm minus amount to be paid to creditors and preference shareholders divided by number of outstanding shares. Now suppose the XYZ Limited is getting 1000 crores after liquidating all its assets, and it has to pay 400 crores to its creditors and preference shareholders. Now what will be the liquidation value? 1000 crores it is getting after liquidating, it will pay 400 crores to the creditors and preference shareholders, and suppose 10 crores are the outstanding shares. So 1000 crores liquidating value minus 400 crores to the preferential shareholders and creditors divided by 10 crores. So the per share liquidation value will be 60 rupees. But it is more realistic than the book value, because it will directly give you how much amount you are going to get after the liquidation of a company. But remember, it is very much difficult to estimate. How will you estimate the prices of each and every asset before selling it into the market? This is the first most important difficult task. Next one is it does not reflect earning capacity. how much company is going to earn in the future, how much company will flourish in the near future, how the stock prices will go up in the near future, no one knows. So this method do not reflect the earning capacity of that particular stock, and it is good for the firm which is going to get bankrupt and which is not viable or which is going to close down in the near future. So it will be quite realistic for them, but the company which is working right now, the company which is having great future, it won't be possible for analysts to apply this method to that particular company. Next is the replacement cost method. It is one of the understandable and easiest method. Replacement cost of assets less liabilities. This is the simple thing, and the most challenging thing here is organizational capital, because when we are talking of the replacement cost, there are certain things which you cannot replace very easily. For example, replacement cost includes the employees. There are certain employees in the organization which are at the top management level, which are also termed as the key employees or the game changer of organization. Suppose if these employees go out of the company and switch your company, you cannot ascertain their replacement cost very easily, because employees are the intellectual capital, they are the human resource asset of any organization. The company which is made by the great brains, so it completely depends on them for the future. If such kind of leadership, if such kind of employees leave the organization at that time, ascertaining the replacement cost is extremely difficult. It will be said that in the certain cases where the lower level employees, where the middle level employees are replacing, it is okay, but when we are talking about top level employees, key employees and the big shot management people, their replacement cost cannot be as certain that easily. Then next one is the customers. When we are talking about the replacement cost, the customer's replacement cost ascertaining is extremely difficult and challenging, because customers will be very different. There will be big customer, there will be small customer, and there will be loyal customer, and there will be customers who will switch from one company to another company's product. So ascertaining their replacement cost is also difficult. Then another challenging thing is the ascertaining of the cost of suppliers. Suppose if any supplier is supplying the raw material to your organization from last 20 years, and all of a sudden you change your supplier, the complete link will go in vain, and the prices at which that loyal supplier was supplying you the raw material and the new supplier who will supply you the raw material, there will be huge difference. So ascertaining their replacement cost is very difficult. And when we are talking about the suppliers, the continuity of supply is also very challenging for the new supplier. So it is very difficult to ascertain the replacement cost of the supplier. Next one is the managers. There are some managers who used to completely manage the units or the organization. When these managers are managing their organization wholeheartedly, and if all of a sudden these managers leave your organization, so it also becomes the difficult task for ascertaining their replacement cost. So replacement cost method is very much challenging as compared to the book value method and the liquidation value method. So today we will just now summarize that what we have seen in this video. First one is the book value method, where it completely depends on the net worth of an organization. Simple formula of book value: paid up equity capital plus reserves and surplus divided by number of outstanding shares, and you will get the book value. Strong high book value reflects the strong prices and stable prices of the equity in the present as well as in the future. Next one is the liquidation value method. Whatever value you are going to get after selling all the assets, tangible assets and the non-tangible assets of your organization, after liquidating the assets of your organization, will be divided by the number of outstanding shares after deducting the money for the creditors and the preference shareholders. So you will get the liquidation value, but it is applicable for only those companies who are going to get liquidated in the near future, and it is not possible to ascertain the future cash flows by using this method. And the replacement cost method, where the biggest challenge is of calculating the organizational capital, which includes the replacement cost of employees, replacement cost of customers, replacement cost of suppliers, and the replacement cost of managers. So in this way, by using these three techniques, by using the balance sheet techniques, fundamental analysts used to calculate the value of equity. In the next video, we are going to study all the valuation techniques of equity in the deep manner. Till then, stay tuned to the YouTube channel of GS College of Commerce, Varda. Thank you.